We are currently rolling through the town of Kanab, Utah. Motto here, greatest earth on show. And we're heading up to the Best Friends Animal Sanctuary to enjoy the $5 all-you-can-eat vegan lunch buffet. And hey, 2026, I'd say that's a pretty fair deal. After that, we're going to take a nice little off-road route through the Grand Staircase, find a spot for the night, and hike into a really cool slot canyon. So come along. Right, we've made it into the sanctuary here. We're heading to the Angel Village Cafe. I'm gonna drive through the sanctuary on the way out so you can get a look at it. This is kind of sad. But I wanted to show y'all. This is the pet cemetery here at the sanctuary. But it's really nice what they've done with it. Man, I'm about to tear up, y'all. Anyone that has lost a pet knows the feeling. But that's an awesome memorial for them. It's one of the horse areas. Some of the tour vans here, you can take a free tour. Just have to book it in advance because spots fill up. Back on the pavement here. Now around the south entrance, you're gonna find a campground you can stay in and also some cabins you can rent out. I decided to turn off the cabins and get a look at those. I never really got a good look at them, but you can rent these out for the night. There's also a pretty cool little hike at the entrance here called Sand Caves. Pretty popular, but we've done that before. We're not gonna go there today. Pretty cool though. So we're going to take a left and head back to Kanab. Coming back into the main strip in Kanab here. I like this little town. This is one of those places I could see myself living. It's also known as Little Hollywood because they filmed a lot of westerns here back in the day. So we're going to stop by a little grocery store I like in Kanab called Honey's Marketplace. Alright, our cooler is completely full, so we're good. Grab some gas real quick. Right, we're going to be heading about 8 miles out of town, and then we're going to be turning on Johnson Canyon Road. And here we are making a left on Johnson Canyon. we're gonna be taking Johnson Canyon up about 15 miles to BLM Road 500, and that will take us straight through the Grand Staircase. We're down here in the Mormon farm country. The official sign entering the Grand Staircase. And the scenery is getting more grand for sure. Alright, here we are, coming up on Scutumpa Road, also known as BLM 500. And this road will take you straight through the Grand Staircase and pop you out on Highway 12. So here we go. Here's where the fun begins. So I think the plan is we're just going to go ahead and head to a campsite and get set up. Kind of get some work done and take it easy for the afternoon. And then tomorrow morning when we wake up, we're going to hike down into the Slot Canyon. I know a pretty good campsite overlooking the cliffs of Bryce Canyon up here. It's about 25 miles. If that's taken, I know a wild spot overlooking the same cliffs. So either way, I think we're good. Sit back and enjoy the ride. Conditions are getting a little looser here. Now this is one of those roads that you definitely want to avoid if it's wet or it's going to rain. It gets pretty nasty out here. So there are three main off-pavement routes you can take through the Grand Staircase, this being one of them. The other one is Cottonwood Canyon. That's a pretty cool drive. It's about 40 miles. And if you're feeling really adventurous, you want to hit Smoky Mountain Road. That's down by Big Water. It connects Big Water to Escalante, and that's a 78-mile off-road. By far the most rugged and the most adventurous. Alright, we turned off BLM 500 onto a side road. There's a few campsites down here with pretty nice views. Hey bud, you recognize this spot? Alright, we got it. No one's here. Check this out. Overlooking some of the cliffs of Bryce Canyon off in the distance. Look at this guy. He's not gonna wait for me to open the door. Yeah, we're gonna get set up. Usually park right there, a good flat spot. Got a nice shade tree here. And get all set up for the day. A few hours have gone by. We're getting our batteries charged. We just finished work for the day. Gonna get over here and start looking for some firewood. And the cliffs are starting to pop off over there from the sun. Nice trail behind camp here. I think this is the firewood finding trail. Check out this view. Okay, we got some firewood started here. Still need to go grab some more. Over here I set up a little music studio. I'm gonna try to get some guitar parts recorded later. All the music you hear in the videos is original music that I record, and gotta get that done before I can start editing another one. Trying to be consistent with them and just keep them coming for y'all. Hope you're enjoying them. Take a little stroll down Firewood Lane here and see what we can find again. Get a good look at these views. I don't know if the camera even does it justice, but need to get a zoom lens. I can zoom in. Actually, there is like a little zoom on here. Let's see what that looks like. Well, it zoomed in a little bit. I don't think it's enough to get the details over there. Pretty awesome rock formations. A front row seat to the greatest earth on show. Right, so we got a salad here. Got some of this bow tie pasta basil salad we picked up from Honey's Marketplace. And here's our pizza waiting to be put in the oven. About to throw it in and wolf this down. Looks good to me. Boy, this basil pesto bow tie pasta, that's a mouthful. From Honey's Marketplace, pretty good. If you guys are in the Kanab area, go by Honey's. Last piece of pizza. Oh man, that was a good meal there. I'm stuffed. Got some ice cream too, but I think I'll save that for another day. Enjoy this last slice and then light up the fire. Yeah, it's been a pretty good day here in Utah. Feel like it's been somewhat productive. We got all stocked up, everything topped off. Got a pretty good, decent size project done for work. Had a nice meal. We drove 35 miles into the backcountry, and here we are. Good morning. Well, it's been 2 days since we left y'all. Ended up staying at this campsite all day yesterday. Just getting caught up on some video editing and recorded some music. Just chilled out. Sometimes it's good to do that. We've been going pretty hard the past several weeks. But now we're getting it together over here. Got the coffee going, we're getting the breakfast sandwich going, and we're about to get this all packed up and head down to Valley Gorge. Leaving the campsite here. What a great spot for the past few days. Only saw one vehicle come down this road, and it was a couple from Maryland looking for the Willis Creek slot trailhead. Made a wrong turn. I got them on the right path, and that's the only folks we saw. So now we're gonna head down to Valley Gorge, and we're gonna hike into an awesome slot canyon. Here's the Willis Creek trailhead, where we're going. A little wild, a little more technical, and a lot less visitors. There might not be anybody there. We'll find out here in a minute. So here we are in 2026, and you can see how wild and out here we are. One direction it's about 30 miles to a paved road. The other direction I'd say close to 15. So imagine how wild and remote this was in 1954. And I say 1954 because we're actually hiking to the site of an accident that happened, and a Jeep went into the gorge. 3 men lost their lives, and the Jeep is still stuck high up in the canyon wall. Here we are at the trailhead, Valley Gorge. And I heard its name came from a bull that got swept into the current somewhere miles upstream and was found in the gorge. You can see the bottom there, maybe. I'd say that's at least 150 foot down. Here we go, Valley Gorge. You gotta hike up a little while. In the gorge, you can actually drop in up here. I'd say it's less than a mile. We're gonna see if we can make our way down to the Jeep site, back to the bridge. So this is one of those trails that you want to go ahead and sign the register, just in case anything happens. Got some good cloud cover today, makes for a better hike. I don't even think I have to mention this, but I will. You absolutely Do not want to go down into one of these slot canyons if there's rain anywhere in the area. There are a few technical spots, a couple drop-offs once you get down in there, but last time I was down in there, which was about 2 years ago, nothing too major, but crazy things happen out here when it rains, so it could be totally different now. But we're gonna see what it looks like and give it our best shot to get down underneath the Jeep. Well, we made it to the spot we can drop down and get in. Hard to believe the gorge gets deep that fast from this. So here we go. We are entering the gorge. You can see right off the bat here, we are dropping down. Here's one of the drops. It's a little log set up there. Use that to climb down. Another little pour off here. I'm gonna put the camera down for this one. This hike does require some rock scrambling skills, but nothing too major. We're getting deeper now. Let's see, the walls are at least 75 foot tall at this point. This one might be harder to get back up. Alright, now here's where things really start to get cool. We are getting into the slot. Squeeze our way down. Alright. You guys ever seen that movie 127 hours, I think it's called? However many hours the guy was in a slot canyon and got his arm pinned by a boulder. I had to cut it off with a fake Leatherman. It's pretty crazy. Of course, he was way more remote than this. Never saw the movie. I read the book called Between a Rock and a Hard Place. But I always think about that when I come down into these slot canyons. Of course, I carry something a little better than a fake Leatherman. If worse comes to worse. Nothing to make a joke about. Sorry, Mom and Dad. This is probably... They probably think this is crazy if they thought the other videos were hairy. Nothing too crazy so far. A few of those boulders might be tough to get over with Miles, but I can put him on top and then get out myself. Oh yeah. Entering a cool section here. The grooves the water makes in this sandstone is crazy. It looks awesome. These little pockets. Think of the water just whipping through here, making that hole. And an airplane was just going over. It was like echoing through the canyon. You know, sometimes I wish I could go back in time before motors or anything was invented. Just be at peace out here. I feel like I might be from that time period, just stuck in another life. One thing I noticed about the Gila, it's like out of flight paths. There was no jets that passed over us. That's pretty awesome. Well, we've encountered our first mud pit, but I think we can get around it here. Just gotta squeeze down here. We should be almost to the Jeep. I think we can make it there. We've passed all the technical spots, I think, but you never know. This thing probably changes after every rain. Uh-oh, look at this. Yeah, imagine being down here and one of these guys falls on you. We're gonna have to crawl under that to get through. No big deal, just a slight bending down. You don't have to crawl or anything. Ooh, it's getting dark again. I like these areas. Look at that big piece of rock up there that broke off and got stuck. Say the walls are over 100 feet now. We made it. There's the bridge. Let's go get underneath the Jeep. So there it is. Crazy. Still got the tires, the license plate. So I read that the local sheriff and his son were the first on the scene here after the accident happened. And the sheriff's son actually rappelled down from the bridge to recover the bodies, 2 of which was still in the truck. And one of them I heard fell, and they had to recover him from here on the gorge floor. Now I've heard there's another way out the other side without going all the way to Willis Creek, but I've never went that way. I've always backtracked. Look at this. I think this might have been a piece off the Jeep that fell down here. Crazy. We're right above it. Our first real mud pit. I think we're just going to turn around and come back the way we came in, because I'm not sure the way out if we keep going. So we're going to go with the safe bet, because once your feet get wet and muddy down here, it's hard to get a good grip on this sandstone. So we're going to just head back the way we came. Yeah, we made it back up to 2 boulders I was concerned about. Should be a piece of cake getting out now. We've made it to our final obstacle here between us and the outer world. Alright, we made it out of the depths. Mission complete. Pretty neat experience there. Glad to take y'all along with us. Back on top. Hard to believe it gets deep that fast. The power of water. Well, I think we're going to end this video here. It's probably pretty long at this point. Appreciate y'all coming along with us on this one though. And tune in for the next one. We're heading a few miles down the road to check out Kodachrome Basin State Park. And then continuing on northeast across Utah backcountry. So stay tuned, folks. And we'll see you further down the trail.